Joining me now ahead of APFC 4 Night of Champions, it's a juicy Justin Lovrich. Should be a massive bout, man. How are you feeling? The shirt looks great.
Thank you. Feeling good. Just coming off of a big win just a couple months ago and was asked to be on this card. So get to showcase what I've learned since then. Definitely every fight's different, showcasing different skill sets, what's there, what you can take, and just riding this momentum. So excited.
You've had some big bouts before. Obviously, you fought on LFA a couple of times, a storied amateur career. You're very experienced in there. But man, how does it feel to be facing another opponent from such a respected school, high profile as well, UNMTC, him and Rufus Sport? How does it feel going into this one?
I'm excited. That's what I train for, to go against big names out of big schools and show that MTC is where it's at. Every opponent is kind of the same. Just I tell newer fighters and fighters who are like less confident that you just have to have faith in yourself, train hard, and the confidence and skill will showcase themselves. So just going with the flow and just another opponent, and want to show that MTC has the skills that all these big name schools have.
What do you know to this point, at least, about your opponent and what he's capable or might bring into the cage?
I know he's a wrestler. I know he likes to strike, and I know just Rufus Sport in general. I have a lot of friends who have cycled through that gym, and I know that they're tough, they're skilled. They're one of the most well-known gyms in the Midwest, so I expect him to have great wrestling, probably really solid striking, and that's what we plan for. I know MTC Johnny is on the card. He's Big Ten wrestler. We have tons of looks and different guys that cycle through. I also train at some Muay Thai gyms, Jiu-Jitsu gyms. I do bounce around. I've trained at AKA Elevation Fight Team. So I've been around these big gyms. Haven't graced Rufus Sport yet, but hopefully after this win, they'll welcome me in and I can see what it's like over there too.
It's always nice to expand and start training in more rooms with more bodies, but obviously that would be after April 23rd. What do you want to showcase, man? You've been in there 10 times combined, amateur and pro. You're a finishing machine. Submissions are obviously your specialty, but what do you want to showcase in there in the APFC cage for the first time?
I always work for that finish. Always want to show that I have a hard heart to beat, to showcase every camp. I get a little stronger, a little technical. So always fighting for that finish. This last fight, I almost had it a ton of times, but it did go to the judges. So kind of want to redeem that, just to show myself that I can still finish, and that's what I'm working for.
In a perfect world, how do you get your opponent out of there in this one?
It depends what he gives me. I kind of call myself a catch wrestler. My dad was an MMA fighter. He called himself a catch wrestler, so it's kind of just to honor him. But fighting a wrestler like him, I just want to like catch him off guard. Catch him sleeping either on the feet, catch him on the ground, whatever it is, wherever it takes us. I'm kind of adaptable. I'm kind of smart. I like to think for the sport, so I'm hoping I am a couple moves ahead.
It's got to add a little motivation as well, knowing that he's such a high level wrestler. I know a lot of guys who are submission experts like yourself really welcome that challenge, and they're like, "Hey, if you want to bring it to me, I have enough for you in this aspect." What do you plan to show him if he does stick keen on shooting those takedowns? So many anticipate.
We'll see. I'd be curious to see what his aggression and game plan is after we're in there. But I have fought many really good wrestlers on my resume, and sometimes these guys are lacking on the feet or in the ground game. I'm assuming coming from this gym, he's probably very well rounded. Probably uses the wrestling as even a secondary. I'd say I know a lot of wrestlers. I was a wrestler too. Don't like to brag too much about it because then people know more. But all wrestlers want to showcase their stand-up, and this guy has good stand-up. So I'm assuming we'll dance around a little bit, and if he gets in trouble, that's when he'll shoot, and hopefully I catch it being a desperate shot, as it goes so many times in the sport.
Do you think people don't necessarily undervalue, but maybe overlook your striking abilities because of how many submissions you have on your record?
I'd say so. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's been hard to finish people on the feet, especially when they give you the submission and the ref doesn't stop it right away. So sometimes it could have been a TKO, but took the quicker, easier route. And sometimes it is just people are hard to finish. Yeah, it is what it is. I always just go in there with the mindset to win and figure it out while I'm in there. I don't want to like overexert myself, put myself in danger going specifically for a knockout, but it would look good on my resume, and I think it could happen this fight for sure.
So you've had so much experience in there and you fought really tough guys. It seems just about every time out, even at amateur. What goes into that? Because I know a lot of guys and a lot of teams will often kind of be weary about the fights they take, but you seem to be somebody who's taken the toughest fight whenever it's there, and you always seem to show up.
Yeah, kind of just early in the career. I'm sure a lot of the fighters who are listening had this happen to them, but it's kind of hard to get fights and people drop out. So at a point, I kind of just say yeah to stay active, and I train so hard and so often. There's only one way to prove it and share it with everybody. So you got to say yes to some of these tougher opponents, and if you're confident in the prep, it'll show up.
You moved the 4-0. One's gotta wonder, how close do you think you'd be getting to getting one of those title shots on one of these shows?
Yeah, I mean, after I said yeah to this fight, I see the APFC release their belts and stuff, so definitely wouldn't mind pursuing that. But I kind of take it one fight at a time. Who knows? I have our good friend Daniel James is fighting for Bellator this Friday's the heavyweight main event, and he could be bringing a title fight back to Chicago. So you never know where this sport can take you. But yeah, every fight I would definitely like to have the opportunity to fight for a title at some point.
And obviously, it's going to be a packed house. Already almost sold out, I should say. What do you want to tell to the fans in attendance and maybe those who are watching at home as well as to why they should tune into this one, why they should see Juicy?
Well, there's no football on Sunday, so first off, watch some awesome fights on Sunday night. I'm excited to be on a Sunday card, and these are all the top Midwest talent. APFC brings in the most talented athletes. My teammate Katana, he was the first one from the team to be on APFC card, and he won Amateur Fighter of the Year for them. And they just find the toughest dudes and some of the best talent. So if you're a local fighter, you might be fighting one of these big names, or you'll see these guys on the big show coming up. So tune in and watch their career blast off after this one.
Katana has probably my favorite name that I've ever heard. Katan Batar Hu Hen Hu with so many K's and H's. It's a trip.
Yeah, he wanted to be on this card. They may still be looking for him, but if not, he'll be on the next one, I'm sure.
For sure. We would love to have Katana back. Everyone, once again, remember April 23rd, APFC 4 Night of Champions, Juicy Justin Lovrich, Mark Choinski. It's going to be MWC versus Rufus Sport. It's going to be MTC, sorry, against Rufus Sport. Yep. Going to be a massive night. Sold out crowd. Obviously, the man himself, Anthony Showtime Pettis, in attendance. And we hope to see you guys tuned in on UFC Fight Pass.